How to score your gluten-free sourdough loaf in the best possible way. So I've got two loaves here. One is the beautiful round shape and one is the loaf shape. And I'm going to show you, once I proof them on the bench for 2 hours, how I get them ready to be baked and scored. So I use baking paper, and as you can see, this one's a bit wrinkled and used because I reuse it to the death. And don't forget that you can do that because this stuff's expensive and you don't need to throw it away each time. Or you can use one of these silicone mats that I have online, which are really cool because you can use these to like lift them in and out of your Dutch oven. So what I do is flip my dough onto my mat or paper. I take off the banneton and the tea towel. I smooth the flour out if there's any flour on there. Now you can add more flour if you like the contrast of the scoring, or you don't have to. Either way, it turns out really beautiful. And then what I do is take my UFO lame, they're called, or lamb, but I say lame because I don't like saying the word lamb. And this is very sharp. It's a very thin razor. For the ear cut, which is the one where you go right around from top to bottom so that it kind of opens up as much as it can, the reason that we do that, and that's the one that is technically needed for the bread, is because bread will find the weakest seam to bust out of. So if we don't give it a seam, it's going to find some crack that we haven't sort of shaped together nicely, and it's going to go blah like a burst couch, and we don't want it to do that. We want it to be beautiful, right? Because otherwise it will hurt our ego. So the ear, I do the same depth as the razor. And then when I want to do, let's say the little wheat stalks, let's start with those, I do them in quick flicking motions like this in the same depth, because I don't want one side to be deeper than the other because the deeper side would bust out. So I start with the pretty pattern first because it's the shallower pattern. And as you can see from the overhead, I just do little quick flicks like that in the dough. And then I'm fully committed, and I start at the top of the dough for the ear and I come all the way around. I don't stop and start, and I'm not dragging the dough. I'm fully committed and I come all the way around in a really quick swipe. So here's our beautifully scored loaf straight out of the oven and then left to cool down for an hour and a half. I love to leave it to cool down for an hour and a half so that I don't get that gummy inside. That's not what I'm going for in bread, and especially with gluten-free, it's really important to let it cool down. It will still be warm inside at that 2.5 hour mark. It just won't be raging hot, so it'll be easier to cut. We've got a beautiful wheat stalk happening here that we scored before, and the beautiful ear. Everything looks perfect, everything looks beautiful. Don't go balls out trying to do like an amazing mandala first off. It's not as easy as it looks, but practice does make perfect. And as you can see, just by doing one beautiful wheat stalk, it makes your loaf of bread absolutely stunning. And I'm sure that anyone would love to receive this as a gift, and you should be very proud of yourself if your bread turns out like this. Keep practicing, keep having fun with it, and send me pictures of your beautiful bread.